Hey y'all. So I am going to be posting this. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get started. Nobody's hopped on. It is the middle of the day on a Tuesday. So um I just wanted to come to y'all and tell y'all about a seller's market. So it's been crazy out here and everybody's just been buzzing about the seller's market. But what does a seller's market even mean? So a seller's market is where the seller has advantage. Like the seller is on top right now because there are less houses on the market. So the seller has the upper hand. Like these buyers are out here, but it's not that many houses for them to choose from. So there then becomes bidding wars because you might want this house, but they might want this house too. So now we're having this bidding war, and the sellers are literally just sitting back like, yes, what y'all got for me, come on. So the sellers are definitely winning right now, and it's just crazy. Like it's almost 50% less houses on the market right now than it was last year. So it's just popping right now for sellers, and honestly for buyers too, if you know how to choose your realtor, one, and get one that's gonna negotiate for you, and being knowledgeable about some of the things that can put you at an advantage is very important in this housing market. So I'm here to let y'all know how you can be a little bit more competitive if you're up to it, and how you can win in these bidding wars. If you're down for a little tussle. So first of all, you want to get pre-qualified and then pre-approved after you talk to your realtor and let them know that you're serious about moving. If you don't have money in your hand, a seller is not going to want to talk to you. So that's first and foremost. Get pre-approved. Make sure your credit is right now. Honestly, it can be above a 580, but then you want to make sure that your income is matching, so your debt to income ratio is okay, and that you're on a plan to keep improving your credit. But the higher your credit, the better your chances are of getting approved for a loan to buy a house. So keep that in mind. Um, Also, price is important. Like, yes, having that pre-approval is important. Price is important when it comes to being competitive in this market, but there are other things that are important as well. So one of those things is not asking for closing costs. In an ideal world, as a buyer, I'm not paying for closing costs. Today in this market, yes, you are. You probably are. So either have that money set aside, or you could possibly take it out of your loan. You can have that money set aside, and your lender will have the figures of what you'll be looking at as far as closing costs comes. So that's when we'll chat with the lender, see how much your closing costs will be around. Go to your savings, see if you have that in your savings, and yeah, just make sure that we're ready and prepared to possibly pay those closing costs, and we're not asking for closing costs because that's not making us competitive. So, no closing costs, guys. Have it, or be prepared to take it out of your loan amount. Um, Communication is key. Communication is key, period, in any relationship, and especially in this home buying game. But in the seller's market, you need to communicate. So we need to find out, as a realtor, from the buyer, hey, are you flexible on your closing date? Can you possibly close sooner? Can you possibly maybe do a rent back option? And a rent back option is basically where, yes, I bought this house, it's mine now, but I'll actually let you still live in it. You pay me rent maybe for 30 days until they find their new home. Because what's happening is, yes, it's a seller's market, but the seller becomes a buyer because the seller is going to need somewhere else new to live. So that person becomes the buyer. And what sellers are finding out is, yeah, I sold my home really quickly, but I'm scared I'm not going to be able to find a house that quick to live in. So that's where the buyer can come in with the upper hand, like, well, we could do a rent back option until you find your new home, and flip the script like that. And then you have a quicker closing date. So it usually takes about 30 to 45 days to close. But if you say that, You can close quicker. You can move in quicker. They can move out faster. That might be something that interests them. Maybe they're ready to go. So let your realtor know, and then your realtor is going to negotiate on your behalf and be like, we're open. Your realtor is going to talk to the other agent like, are they, how can we come up, do we need to move faster, or do they need to maybe stay in the home for a little while? What kind of things can we work out? Also, let's see, what else little notes do I have for you guys? You definitely, when it goes to price, you definitely want to come in at full price. For sure. Come in at full price, but of course, the more money you offer, the better. But you don't want to offer too much money. So I would put an escalation clause in your contract, which basically says we will escalate on any other offer that's put in up to a certain dollar amount. Granted that that person comes in with the offer that actually competes with ours. And that's competitive. And we'll also put it contingent on an appraisal, though. You don't want to put a lot of contingencies in your contract when you're a buyer, especially in a seller's market, because you want to look competitive. The more things that the more little rules you have, the less competitive you are. So, hey, so make sure that um, not too many rules, but I would do a contingent on an appraisal, um, because we're buying a home to build generational wealth, correct? Yes. So if we're buying a home to build generational wealth, we don't want to be coming in paying over $10,000 possibly, or more, any amount over what the house actually costs. You're coming in under. So if you're paying, let's say a house is $250,000, you said I'll escalate my price up to 260, 10 over. And then the appraisal comes back and says, oh no, this house is only worth 245. I'm not going to advise you to pay over $15,000 over on a house, period. I'm not going to advise you to do that. I want you to win. I want you to be able to build your generational wealth. So we would not want to be coming in under on a home. I don't know. It honestly would depend on your loan type. So we would have to look into that loan to figure that out. But yeah, we'll have to look into a loan. DM me. Um, yes. So I would make your escalation clause contingent on an appraisal. That would make us a little less competitive, but at the end, it would be in your best interest. I want us to be competitive, but I also want to look out for you. So, yes, escalation clauses definitely can be a great thing to put into your contract or your offer to make it competitive. A earnest money deposit. 500 is what we usually put on an earnest money deposit. It secures your spot. It says that, hey, I'm very serious about my offer. I'm putting 500 down. But your earnest money deposit can be any amount. So the more you put on, the more competitive you look. Oh, they putting down 1,000. They putting down 1,500, 2,000. They're serious about this home. Yeah, let me hop on this. So if you have more for earnest money deposit, you definitely want to put that in. Be mindful that if your offer is accepted, that earnest money deposit is due to holding. It's held in a trust for in 2 days. So you have to have your check for your earnest money deposit in 2 days, so that we can deposit that. And yeah, you're saving for a reason. So get your money right, have your savings right, because there is some out-of-pocket costs. But if you're serious about getting your home, it's what it's going to have to take. Also, you can waive some inspections. Now, with the VA loan, you can't waive inspections, but with other loans, you do have the option to waive inspections most of the time. So, just be mindful that if anything is wrong, I still would get an inspection. Just I wouldn't make my offer contingent on an inspection. Get your inspection and find out what's wrong. You're gonna have to pay for that out of pocket because, of course, you're saying that your offer isn't contingent on inspections. So make sure that you have your money to possibly pay for what repairs may come of that. But that's another way to stay competitive. So there are a few different ways to stay competitive in this market, and just have the right realtor on your side. Trust that they know what they're doing. Know that you can do every single last thing that I said in this video. You could do every single last thing that I said in this video and your offer still may not get accepted. That doesn't mean you have a bad realtor. That means that it's competitive out there and that the house just wasn't for you. You know, if your offer doesn't get accepted, there are other houses out there. It is a tough market, but what's for you is always going to be for you. And I was actually watching a video yesterday, and the realtor said when she was buying a home, she put offers in on 3 homes, and the last one finally got accepted. But if she had, really stressed, thank you, Pandora, and I have the magic ring. If she really stressed those 2 homes that she couldn't get, she wouldn't have got that home she loved. And she was like, she honestly can't even remember what those homes were, the layout, or anything, because she has her home that she's supposed to be in. So you may have a situation where you have to put in multiple offers on multiple homes, and you have to be competitive. It's very important that you put those feelings aside. Know that it's tough out there, but if you have a good realtor on your side and you're ready for, a little competition, it might take 2 to 3 weeks to find your home for you. If it's your first home, it's probably not going to be your dream home. So don't get caught up in you needing every single thing, that you want in your dream home. Know your must-haves versus your need-to-haves. Know that, this first home can be an investment, and if you do it the right way and you're loving the process, then you're ready to buy your second home, in a few years, and then possibly selling homes, and, just really building that generational wealth is what I'm all about. But even if it is, your forever home, know that, it's a little process. So just be patient and everything is going to work out. Take some of the emotion out of it and know that it is competitive, and, you might get knocked down on your first home or your second home offer or even your third home offer, but the home for you is out there. If you're serious about buying, your realtor is definitely gonna fight for you, because that's our duty. That's our duty as realtors. So it was a pleasure speaking with you guys today. Of course, I'm gonna post this to my IGTV. Thanks for stopping in. Well, if anybody has any questions, I have some time, but it's not that many people up here. So any questions before I hop off? Hey, how's it going? Oh, also, shameless plug. I love to plug my co-working space in. Hey, I work at Gather 757 in Newport News. It's a co-working space, so if you are an entrepreneur, you want to get out of the house, it does get a little stressful working out of the home. And coming to the office makes me feel a little more productive. You can pay for spaces here. Your clients can come here and meet you. They have coffee during the week. Little events and things going on. So I love Gather co-working space. If y'all need a space to work at, it's definitely a great co-working space to be in. So no questions. So I will see y'all later. Thanks for tuning into my live. If you're watching this video later and you have questions, please drop them in the comments. I'll definitely respond. And thanks, you guys. Bye.